welcome YouTube to a review of the Wii game. I think it's only on Wii. Deca Sports. I know you don't want me to be all like, oh my god, this dude's gonna do like a super long intro and crap. So, I'll get on to the important stuff already. We'll start with the first game in the lineup. Sport is badminton. Every game, you decide a team and a character from each team. I will now demonstrate. Like, I'm gonna choose the Crusaders, I'm gonna choose Ted from the team. It plays pretty much like Wii Sports, so we just kind of swing around the Wii remote. Okay, one second. It plays pretty much like Wii Sports, we just kind of swing around your Wii remote. Oh, I lost. Well, you pretty much just swing around your Wii remote and you hit it, and you just kind of repeatedly do that till you win. There's nothing really much else here to talk about, you know. So yeah, that's it. That's it for badminton. Kart racing, kind of like Mario Kart, I guess. The Mario Kart, this one pretty much just got controls by just holding the two buttons and turning, as shown. I'm pretty bad at this game. So yeah. You can choose either from 1 to 5 laps, but it only goes from intervals of 1, 3, 5. And you can do different difficulty courses. And clearly I'm not meant for this game, so if we could just move on to the next one, I think he might agree. Sport of curling. Brief session of looking at the controls, I figured out how to control this game. May I say, it's very overly complicated. Just kidding, it's actually really easy. That wasn't meant to be a joke. And just missed it. Well, yeah. You hold B and you thrust forward to throw the stone. Like that. So it should be done. Which is actually the enemy team. But then you use left and right of control pad to angle direction as you shake up and down to sweep. Yeah, this one's actually kind of fun. It doesn't look fun, but trust me. If you're actually playing this with someone and not just by yourself, it's actually somewhat fun. Sorry, the camera's shaking, it's kind of being annoying. Well, okay, let's just go on to the next one. Snowboard cross. Just kind of tilt the controller left and right to turn, kind of hold down to speed up and such. This is pretty much what it is, that's how it looks. Kind of boring, and I guess sort of fun if you're playing with other people. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting bored of this. Let's go to the next one. This game's actually a lot of fun with friends, though. I have the 5th one out of the 10th one. We're actually gonna skip archery. Go down to motocross. This one controls exactly like kart racing, but it's actually way more fun than kart racing. Like, just look at this crazy. Woo! Yeah. This one I personally, this is actually the first one I played, and it doesn't exactly leave a good impression on the game. I mean, it's just kind of motocross that controls very horribly. That's kind of it. But you can also lean up and down to balance yourself inside the air so you don't crash. That's new. And most of the tracks are just kind of boring. I don't always suggest this one, as much as I might have suggested some others. Yeah, that's the end of motocross. Archery, volleyball, figure skating, basketball, and soccer. You can check those out on your own time. I actually suggest this game if you have friends. If you're just playing it by yourself, not a really good game suggestion. But if you're interested in some fun multiplayer, Deca Sports is for you. especially if you don't own Wii Sports. It's probably a better solution than Wii Sports. I noticed the view was kind of boring at the quality super bad, so they'll capture it. Trust me, it'll be much better next review. On whatever game I choose. It's probably gonna be some crappy game. But yeah. See you next video, YouTube. So in advance that I couldn't keep the quality level that I said I would, but there's a cat this time. Does that count? It probably doesn't. Okay, today's review is on Custom Punch-Out Explosion XL, meaning it's just console version. It's the Wii version, obviously. I mean, I could have PS3, but we don't own that, so yeah. This game is so bad. It just tried to be a Smash Bros. Clone, but it just couldn't. You'll see. We'll begin with the versus mode. We'll do story mode afterwards. In the game, I'm making a profile. In this case, I make one that says exactly what I think about this game. You just don't play the game because this game is terrible.
How do you want to play this?
I don't want to play this, but I have to for YouTube. Begin with the versus mode, kind of. So many different freaking modes. Let's do standard.
Choose a character.
Why not? Okay, yeah, you can choose your character. Start out with a couple crappy characters. I guess I'll use some this dude.
Blackjack.
And we'll fight. You are joining. Let's make Ben 10. Yes, yes we will. Okay, let's do this.
So what show are we watching? One, fight!
This game is pretty much just your standard Smash Bros. Clone. You beat up some idiots, but the sound effects suck. You can just hear the crappiness right there. Okay, it's hard to play with one hand when you have to hold a phone with the other to film. Just some insight for you. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it is as bad as it. It is as bad as it looks. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Sometimes if you save up enough money, you can use these things called punch time explosions. It's not like money; it's like a bullet to on the screen. But it's pretty much it does that. It's like the final smash of Smash Bros. Yeah, sure it is. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty much that. It's pretty much just, you know, we just did it, but, you know, it's pretty much just you beat people up like that. Let's go on to probably the worst part of the entire game. The story mode. I will select a new game or difficulty. Oh, I will exit it, but pretty much you can do it 4-player, which I kind of suggested, I guess. Stop hitting B. We're gonna do a new game. There's a few different areas. You unlock pretty much all the characters by it, besides like the bosses and such. You're forced to be Ben 10 at the beginning and such, and you have the different colors like Smash Bros. Like you can go from like bam, 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 bam. There's always like some negative color for some reason. Let's be this idiot. But pretty much, yeah. You're about to see why this isn't exactly the best story mode. See, this is like the in-game cutscene, so it's just dumb text and it's just like that. Yeah, it looks pretty dumb. So pretty much, this is the freaking beginning. See, they don't even talk. It's just bam, bam, bam. Yeah, I can skip this. So they teach you that blah blah blah, two's attacking, yada yada yada, with the wheel mod. Depending on what you're using is what the controls are. You gotta beat up some idiots, yada yada yada. First of all, it's just a dumb tutorial, yada yada yada. This is really freaking dumb. Okay. This is pretty much how boring the game gets. It doesn't get much interesting from here. And such, you know. And you gotta teach you how to freaking roll and crap. Okay, I'll just move on to the next level for you guys so you don't have to sit for this boring crap. Second area is Ben 10, just so you know. You know, Chowder. Really boring. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this CPU. Oh my god. You just can't wait this stuff. Okay, so the third area. You can't even see his face. There you go. The third area is Flapjack. So yeah. This is counter move. Okay, next. Fourth area is Kids Next Door. So yeah. Fifth area is in fact Powerpuff Girls. Yeah. The sixth area, which you can go and tell I beat the game because Captain Planet, but the sixth area is Foster's Home. Is he? I think it's yeah, it's the sixth area. So yeah, it's Captain Planet being a nerd. So okay, so the seventh area is Dexter's Laboratory. Yeah, and Dexter is kind of a sucky character. So yeah. The eighth area, in the final area, is actually Samurai Jack. You can see me just wreck. Well, of course the game ends with a final boss, but I'm too lazy to record it. It's pretty much just a remote control. That's the final boss. How cheap is that? Okay, before I end this review, just give me a minute. There's a store that you can spend your points on. You can buy characters like Kevin, 11, Johnny Bravo, him, Young Ben, the Scotsman, Hoss Delgado, Toyonator, Aku. That's it. You can also get TV clips, which meh, and they're decent. And there's also stages, also meh. But you can also buy costumes for like every single character. Or at least most of them. Yeah, every single one is a costume. It's actually way worth it. So, do I suggest getting this game? No. So yeah, that's the end. Welcome, my fellow 7 subscribers, to the magic of the new game review, Ed and Eddie, the Mis-Edventures. Yes, another game review. You guys probably wait for that. So let's begin with the fact that this game is decent, actually. It's not, like, it's bad, but it's just so many good things about it that kind of overwhelms the badness. Try you do, Ed. Yeah. So anyway, let's begin with the review. After you begin the new game, you go to a cutscene pretty much just being Ed and Eddie style, and you have to wait for a loading screen, which is like that, where the color fills in the screen. And then you begin with your first level of the game, where you're trying to freaking get stupid ice to make snow cones, I guess. The 3D models of this game are, yeah, they're something. They're really something, aren't they? So yeah, you're gonna... shit. So yeah, anyway. So you can switch characters by hitting L and R. Like now he's Double D, and then now he's Ed. Each character has special abilities, so like throwing the stink bomb. And that's one. So yeah, this game is not that bad. You can also learn these secret Easter eggs by hitting chickens that get you stuff. Get that chicken. Come on, man, you can't lose it. What? I'm gonna retry it. So pretty much, you learn an Easter egg, whatever. Why do I suck at this so much? I really need to get my skills up. Yeah, that's you throw the chicken with Ed. You can get the secret spooky costume or whatever. Something. I think you just got big heads or whatever. So pretty much, you gotta do stuff for plot and whatever. I think that's it for this mission. I mean, all you do is just collect 5 ice cubes to make snow cones. Oh yeah, I also gotta show up the job wakers. So I'll go to when it gets that. You can also earn costumes by digging inside sandbox. You have to earn 3 costume pieces to earn a bonus mission. Spooky! And they're decent. And you can also find these secret spooky job breakers from the show. I think spooky a lot. That you can unlock cheat codes if you get them all. They even have descriptions. Yeah, they do. There's a bunch of different types. There's even ones that you have to buy inside the main menu, which will show after this mission. I'll see you next mission. Or I'll see you in the main menu, I guess. So after you beat every mission, you go to the main menu, which is the cul-de-sac from the show, where you can beat up people, I guess. And you can also access all the missions and or bonus missions that you may have gotten. But if you go to the playground, which I'm gonna go to now. This game also you can collect pennies to pay for stuff, like the gumball. Wait, oh yeah, right, the sandbox. You can earn money to pay for stuff, and if you're Double D, you can also have abilities to do stuff like this, where you can, on this gumball machine you can purchase job breakers in the game. You know, so if you pay for them all and you earn them all, you can unlock cheat codes, which are just kind of like enemies can't detect you. And they're not really that good. There's only like 3 and they're not that good. Okay. Do you think we've covered all? Okay. So let's go on to next mission. Oh my god. Also, the Easter eggs can also run you these phone booth things that right there. Which those, it's actually one of the first 3 you'll start earning movie booths, which will give you cool stuff that will show off later. On to the next mission, which is not this house. I'm just showing it off. On to next mission. Second opening cutscene. Yeah, the animation's kind of dumb, but it's kind of like the show, I guess. Not at all, but they tried. They tried. I'm not sure or not you just heard that, but pretty much they're gonna go into the sewers to sneak into a party, which is 1, a dumb as crap idea, 2 is probably, I think, maybe illegal, I'm not sure. But yeah, you're just in the sewers and there's crocodiles and enemies. Oh, yeah, see you're in the stinky sewers. I'm gonna show off the job breaker location for all you people that want to do that. Wondering, job breaker location, crappy quality phone job breaker location locator. So you can do special moves with the, I think that's the L button. Yeah, that's the L button. You can do these special moves that you're required to do right here. So if you, like, example, if you're using him, sorry, if you're using Double D, old fans of the show just got really angry. If you're using Double D, you can, okay, stop, kill that stupid crocodile already, there we go. Okay, you can use it to rise up stuff, I guess, if you can, yeah, magic. And you can also use the ability to spin that, which I guess has gears everywhere. Yeah, time to go to the next job breaking location. For all you people that are wondering what the gameplay is like, it's not that bad. It's actually really good gameplay, and I guess Trey's getting hurt. So you can get these clams enemies that begin inside this mission that absolutely suck. So yeah, I guess it turned from a review to a freaking Jawbreaker collect location video, but I guarantee you it will be in fact a review. You know what? Let's just go on the next mission. Almost forgot, at the end of the mission you have to fight the cankers. And Double D also has a slingshot that you can use whenever. Yeah. You gotta do a couple cutscenes where they just run away like and then it'll be done. So pretty much you gotta shoot things onto their head in case you're stuck on this freaking mission. Cause it's pretty freaking annoying. Gotta drop stuff on their head, like bam. Yeah, it's pretty freaking easy. But the first time you play this mission, it's always super hard because you don't know what the heck to do. So this is going to be the final mission I'll show off, but this mission is pretty much, it's also the third mission, in case you don't know. This mission is just, you gotta get a freaking job worker that, because they're giving them out for free or something at the candy store. It's also a 2-footer. So yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much, Eddie tries one, wait on the mission, blah blah, he gets sick, something like that, so you gotta go back and in the house. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this mission. I'm gonna try to end off this review quickly due to the fact that it's been going on for meh. I just feel like it shouldn't be going on anymore. So this will be the end of this review. See you next review where I review, I don't know, actually. I'm not sure what I'm gonna review next. Maybe be another crappy game, except this one's actually decent, so that doesn't freaking count. So see you. Gonna go edit this video. Welcome YouTube to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory review for Gamecube, because I decided let's do two in one day. You know, that first one took 15 years to freaking edit. Not like me editing, it was like the process after I edited it. So editing apps are not really that good. So yeah, let's begin with the intro. Dude, look at his face. It's just, you can't tell because it's a crappy phone quality, but it's dumb, trust me. Look at that face. That was perfect, the grip. Why'd they animate this? And why'd they make his face look so dumb when they animate it? Yeah, we get it used to work here. Yeah. I'll continue as a cutscene. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh well, I'll just keep rolling anyway, guys. Okay. Blah finds $10 bill. We've all seen the freaking movie. You gotta chase it. So this area, after you beat the game, you can never come back to it, because you can come back to every areas of the game. Check. Throw the snowball, not the dollar. Go throw it out like the sign or something. You have to pick it off the snow. Okay. My brother always plays for me when I do. Only for these two videos. The first one I was playing with one hand like a controller. And this is boring. This is pretty much just you gotta chase it. Yeah. I'll skip to the cut. At the end of the first area, you get to, after you beat the thing, just stop completely. I want to show this. Not like that. You know what I meant. If you're doing this section and you manage to slow down all the way, it's super great. Can you do it? Yeah, see? Look. He's doing the animation like he's freaking, yeah, it's great. So after that sweating nonsense, you go on to the this room, which you should, you know. One second, you get to the chocolate room pretty much, and you gotta get some Oompa Loompas, and then you gotta make them do this. You gotta make them rat, and you can continue on, and that was it. You had to get, you know, Augustus that stupid pipe if you've ever seen the movie. So that's the end of this area. Time to move on to the next one. And doesn't really want that. So yeah. Well, actually, you get that. So pretty much you get that, which you have infinite of. But now you can, I guess, just run around this area if you want to and collect all the stuff, which I guess I suggest. Then we move on to the next area. So inside the next room, you earn the jelly beanstalk candy, which turns 10 things into a giant ball. Oh, and I have to get wrecked by robots. Yeah, so when you trap them in that, it becomes freaking a ball of what looks like cactus. And he's gonna run up the bowling strike and absolutely failed. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty sad. Okay, and he did this time. Guys, you have 3 times to overload the pump to get freaking Augustus out of it. So I'll go on to that then. Yay! Platforming on beanstalks, and you have to do the stupid bowling thing again. I love it. And expert. Most of the problems with the game can be seen like right at the intro. It's There's a lot of repetition. The platforming is too basic to even be really platforming, and it's just really boring. I just witnessed a glitch. That's nice. But this game is incredibly boring, has a lot of repetition right in the first area of the game. Let's just hope that the second area might be better, so I don't immediately end this review saying this game ultimately stinks. Look at this, YouTube. This is Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. I'm going to include this as a little glitch separately, and I'm also going to put it inside the review, because this glitch is hilarious. Oh, you solved it like that! That's amazing! Let's see ya! The next area is the candy coating room, but I'm probably just going to end up the review here, because you pretty much get the point of the movie. I mean, the game. Well, the game based off a movie. Pretty much, all this is that it takes scenes from the movie, like the Augustus gang, you know, sucked up. It makes it way longer, boring, and super repetitive. This isn't even in the movie. It's a candy coating room or whatever. So this game is boring, repetitive, not fun at all. Do not suggest this game in any way. Unless you're looking for a dumb game to play to 100% and make for a physically impossible game to 100% all the way, and just a generally bad time. This is not a good game. Not at all. This is a short review, but it's still the thought put into it. This game stinks. Never buy it. It's not worth it. I bought it because it was based off the movie. I thought it would be quite good. But no, it is in fact stink. So do not buy this game. And I really regret buying this game a lot. Well, that's it for this review of Trucks GBA Gamecube, the game that stinks so much. Let's see you. Boo. Ninja Store Compass, you have to review this game now. But why me? Because Ninja Store Compass, you are destined to do it. Now please give me a more valid reason. Okay, none of you YouTubers want to do it. You see, that makes way more sense. Review the game now. Oh, play a game, but what game is it? Huh? Deca Sports Freedom, let's try it out. Okay, so you start the game, but look at my little character in the bottom left. This is how you know where your hand motions are. So we got a few sports here. We got boxing, paintball, snowboard, lacrosse, dodgeball, figure skating, mogul skating, which is like ski jumping, can-do, archery, beach volleyball, and tennis. So generally, to control this game, you do stuff like doing this to toss and serve, doing this to hit the ball and stuff. Each game has their own specific things, which basically let you do certain movements to track them on the screen, and that's how to do it. They track it through this infrared sensor on the Kinect, which you can kind of see shining in the camera right now. The game is that stuff is one fatal flaw besides terrible AI. It's that sometimes it just does not catch what you're playing. Here's a few examples. I thought I hit that! I caught that dodgeball. I'm turning. But I'm aiming the paintball gun. So graphics in this game I'll give actually 9. It's pretty good. Like, it looks pretty smooth and good. It's nice on Xbox actually. The gameplay and performance 6. It's not that good. Also to mention, the tennis game and the entire game itself actually was made by Hudson Soft, which made Mario Tennis, so there was zero excuse for this not working, besides the fact that the Kinect sucks. In case you're wondering, every single ever game sucks. Okay, besides a few. Paintball, you cannot aim at. Also, after you complete every single activity, they show you epic pictures of yourself being a total idiot. One more comment before this game review ends. There is one thing this game rocks in, the music department. Listen to that. main theme of the game is so awesome. Are you happy with yourself, Kinect? Did you get what you want? You did a pretty crappy job of it, but fine. I'll let you off the hook now. I'll be back with another game. Bye. That is the end of this game review, and there will be more coming out in the future. So bye. Played so many Just Dance games, but I've played none as terrible as this one. And I've played plenty of them. Why is this game so bad? Let's find out, shall we? Let's start by looking at the case. We see an immediate first problem. All of these Disney Channel shows, even the back has a whole section for them, claiming that they were the hottest Disney Channel shows. Well, all of these shows or either canceled, or just movies that aren't that good, and the only exception is Phineas and Ferb, which was decent. Oh my god. At least the Disney movies aren't that bad. Well, we'll see. Okay, let's start the game up. Look into that bland music. Oh my god. Let's freaking begin this crap. So at first you're prompted to a dance or parents option. Like your parents would ever want to play this piece of crap game. Let's check it out. Oh wow. Health tips. I told you, let's look at that. Yep, nope. Like this game is ever gonna help you lose weight. God. Dang. So this is the menus. With Just Dance game, this is pretty freaking bland, the menus. Just yellow squares with stars and things. Stars and sweat marks, sorry. Wow. So many of these things are just Disney Channel songs, and all the Disney Channel songs are crap. In case you're wondering. Besides Squirrels on My Pants, the rest are just terrible. So this is the song that they chose for High School Musical. You know, not Get Your Hand in the Game or anything. No, let's do the finale song. Yeah, that's great. So I'm gonna check out the hood of song. Let's see how intense it is. So for very few songs, you can actually choose the language. Only for a couple though, you know, because that's needed. So when you first pick a song, it prompts you 4 options. Just Dance, Freeze and Shake, Balloon Pop, and Team High Score. Balloon Pop is just a mode where you gotta dance the correct stars to fill up a balloon that pops, and then you'll shake your Wiimote rapidly to collect all the stars. But sometimes it hurts your arm trying to do that because how much force you have to use. Sometimes it takes forever as the stars to get into the balloon. So next is Freeze and Shake mode. You shake your Wiimote to fill up a ball, which can sometimes be very difficult. Then you stop moving your Wiimote to try to keep your score from not getting depleted by moving. Which, by the way, is ripped directly from Just Dance Free, as seen in the footage that I provided, because I'm nice. Anyway, time to get back to that one song. These moves are incredibly easy. Look at this. This is the hardest song in the game. Oh my god, this is so easy. Look at this amazing gold move. So difficult. Unfortunately, it's like this for every single song in the game. Like in the Lilo and Stitch world, look how easy this is. This is ridiculous. Not to mention the kid that's supposed to be Stitch. I mean, that's not even close. Look at that. But I guess, I mean, this is the anime characters from the show. I mean, if that helps at any point. Yeah, 3 stars. Not too shabby. So should you buy this game? No. But if you want to dance the Disney songs, just buy Just Dance Disney Play 2. That always has decent songs. With awful songs, terrible dance moves, laughably bad game modes, just a complete lack of fun, this is a Just Dance game you should definitely miss out on. I'm Mr. Compass signing out. I know. Man, I wish I could have some intense monster truck action, but all I have is a Game Boy Advance. How am I gonna be able to do that? Don't fear, I know a way.
Who said that?
You.
That doesn't make any sense.
Just review the game.
What do you mean?
Here you go.
Huh? Monster Trucks. For Game Boy Advance. Is this any good? Let's find out. Okay, so before we review the game, we gotta talk about just the sheer possibility of this game, Monster Trucks for Game Boy. So, you're trying to make a Monster Truck game on a Game Boy Advance. That sounds very possible. They made amazing games like Mario Kart Super Circuit. What should be the problem of making a Monster Truck game? Well, you see, they decided, instead of doing your Mario Kart cartoony look, we're trying to make it super realistic and actiony. You're about to see why that did not work out as well as they thought it would. So when you first begin the game, they only give you two options, quick game and career. No multiplayer option in a racing game. This is sounding great already. So, what is the difference, you may ask, between quick game and career mode? Well, quick game is just choose a track and race the track. That's it. Obvious stuff. Career mode is basically the same thing, but you have to do them all in order while facing enemies. You have 5 things that you can add or upgrade. I honestly found no difference whatsoever, to be honest with you, so I mean, they didn't affect me at all. So you begin with track 1, Swampland, or whatever, so you begin. You get to see that amazing graphical style. Dang, look at that frame rate. Yeah, this is the frame rate of the game. It's really good. And the graphics are so pixely, it actually hurts your eyes as you play the game. And just listen to that amazing soundtrack. It literally hurts your ears to listen to the soundtrack. And if you think this game is going to be incredibly challenging, just hug the wall. Every single track. It works. Like, seriously, look how far away I am from them. I'm that kind of green dot you could barely see. They're all the red dots at the top. I am a 4th through the track closer than them. And all I had to do was hug the wall for the entire race. And you always have to sit through 2 or 3 grueling laps to have to deal with this freaking game. This game is awful. The controls aren't horrible, I guess. But you know something that's not okay? The track designs. They go from a freaking straight square, which lasts way too short, to a freaking turmoil of turns that last freaking 5 minutes. Combine that with all the bland graphics and freaking stupid AI and honestly, controls. This game isn't very fun. I would only suggest you buy this game if it's like 50 cents or something, because I would not pay over $1. I would not pay $1 for this game. After you waste over almost 2 minutes on one track, you get to buy more stuff that does nothing. Fun, right? This game is freaking horrible and you should never buy it. SpongeBob is so funny. I love my SpongeBob VHS tape. If only I had a game based off of SpongeBob. What am I going to do? Wait a minute. How long have I owned that? Let's hook it up. Shut up. So this thing is a Spongebob plug-in and play game, meaning you plug all the AV cords into your TV, and then this is the game system. All you gotta do is flick on a switch, and then the game will begin on your TV. It's super pixelated, so there's 4 games. Jellyfish Dodge, Guide and Collide, Snowball Showdown, and Sponge Pop. I'll be talking about each one of these individual. Let's start with Sponge Pop. Sponge Pop is your standard Atari Breaker clone, where you move left and right and then you use the pearl to knock down bubbles. You get Krabby Patty pieces to increase your lives, and you collect power-ups to make it easier. To move on the next stage, just pop all the bubbles. Rinse and repeat for 10 levels. As you move up all the levels, you have bubbles that take more than 1 hits to kill, and there's also more bubbles. And if you pass all the levels, you get the beat plankton, which is fun. Yeah. Next is Snowball Showdown. This game controls very basically. It's basically a aim where you want to shoot and then shoot with a certain amount of power, which is meh. This game has multiple different levels, and they all basically play the same. The goal is to get the other person's temperature to drop to the lowest point so they freeze. Like that. The levels get more and more complicated as it goes on, getting bigger and more challenging. Real quick, the joystick feels really good and responsive, and actually not that cheap, and the 2 buttons aren't actually that bad either. It's also the only multiplayer game on this, and it's actually quite fun to play with your friends, surprisingly. It also has many items that you can use, like this one, where you can control the snowball in the air, which is... There's also this one that makes your snowball really good.
Bigger and more powerful.
Yes, bigger and more powerful. Next is my personal non-favorite, but it's Guide and Collide, which actually has different locations and levels based on locations, making this pretty long. The general premise of this game mode is very simple. Just place a fan to guide the jellyfish towards Spongebob, who's going to catch them all like a maniac. As the levels go on, they get more and more complex, leading you to actually have to think about how to solve it. But there's nothing really much to say about this one. It's just kind of a fun little neat one. This is actually the hardest game on this, because it actually requires some thinking and strategy. And finally, the game that they used to advertise this, and the main name of the actual machine, Jellyfish Dodge. Like Guide and Collide, it has many levels and worlds, which is really good. You walk around with a Spongebob trying to do many objectives, going from collect golden jellyfish to survive to beat up all the jellyfish. And it's actually really good. Like, this is like an actual game. I highly suggest, if you're gonna buy this thing, buy it for this. This is really good. It gets really challenging, has many power-ups, even has bosses. Yes, I said bosses. In the end, because you've been whacking all his jellyfish friends, King Jellyfish has a word with you, but you don't want to do that, so you have to run around and avoid his stings. Is that really what I wrote down for the script? Oh my god. His goal, probably the hardest of all of them. You gotta avoid jellyfish to make it to the goal. This is one of the easier examples of it, but it gets really hard. Footage of collection. You just gotta collect all the gold jellyfish or avoid getting hit too many times by jellyfish. So should you buy this? Oh crap, wrong one. So should you buy this? Yeah. It's actually good. I suggest it actually if you like Spongebob. You don't even need an actual game console to play it. It is a game console. Very convenient for you to actually don't have any. And you like Spongebob. It's actually good, and I totally suggest it. That's the end of this review. Hope you like it. See you next time. Bye. I'm gonna go eat a ham sandwich. Not really. It's gonna be a chicken sandwich. Bye. It's a game. Okay, here's the review. Let's look at our first problem. $3 for a Wii game. First problem. Second problem. EA. Third problem. A Nerf video game. Fourth problem. It's a rail shooter. And fifth problem. I don't even need to say. So here's my review of this game. Take this, Nerf. You deserve better, but you just weren't good at all. You only had one redeemable quality, and that was the fact that you could use the freaking Nerf gun as a controller. I despise you. That's the end of this review. Why won't it work? If only I had a Smash Bros. Game on the N64. Wait! You can't hide from me. Ha! I knew it! You were hiding this game. Bad Dreamcast. Let's go play it! Yes, Super Smash Bros. For N64. You know you have gotten ever Smash Bros. Games, clearly. We're gonna see why not. The first one still holds up as a pretty good game. Super Smash Bros. Yeah. This series is in regards one of my favorite, to be honest. But on with the review. So when we first start up, we're presented with 4 options. 1 player versus option data. Option and data are pretty obvious, so we don't need to go into that. There's Classic, Training, Bonus 1, and Bonus 2. Let's begin with 1 player game. This game has 8 starter characters and 4 unlockable characters, but let's be honest, this game is 18 years old. If you haven't unlocked all the characters by now, that's your own fault. Classic is very basic. You just start by fighting the characters, you do your bonus games like target tests, or board the platforms. Then you face your Metal Mario, race to the finish. By the way, Polygon Pikachu looks like a Sandshrew, just gonna say that. Then the final fight with Master Hand. Yeah. Then a cool picture or whatever. The combat is just Smash Bros. Basic. You use A to attack normally, then you use B to do special moves. Up is jump, or you could also use the C buttons. The combat is very great. It feels very fluent and actually controls quite well. It's actually very responsive, especially for using an N64 controller, which we all know the joystick is quite questionable on that one. On the controller, L is taunt, but you have to move your hand out of the way to press it anyway, so no one's ever really going to use that. Back to the single mode. Training mode is the basic Smash Bros. Training mode, where you're able to select items and just fight free-for-all in a arena that has a basic background. That's it. Bonus 1 and Bonus 2 are just the target test and board the platform modes from earlier. Versus mode is just your basic multiplayer versus mode in a Smash Bros. Game. You choose your rules, you select your characters, and then you do an all-out brawl thing. The mode is as basic as Smash Bros. Multiplayer modes get. Simple and charming. But it has its flaws. First of all, the lack of characters, although revolutionary for the time, do get boring after a while due to one flaw. Well, for one, there's no side B attacks, meaning if you're playing as Captain Falcon, you go do the side B, and you end up just doing a Falcon Punch instead, leaving yourself very open to attack. Not only that, you cannot charge smash attacks, which is kind of disorienting to anybody who's played any of the other past Super Smash Bros. Games before. Another issue is that every single time you do Classic, the characters that you face never change. Like, for example, I'm going to show a bunch of footage of people doing Link, like Fox, Luigi doing Link, Jigglypuff doing Link, and Yoshi doing Link. See, it never changes. The first fight is always Link no matter what, and that's same for every single fight in this entire Classic mode. And lastly, the game's combat is honestly just way slower than the other games. If you've ever played any of them, you know exactly what I mean. But the question is it a good game? Well, although it's not as good as the other ones, it's still a pretty good fighting game for your N64, so I suggest it if you want one. Although, good luck finding it, it's kind of rare nowadays. But not as rare as Melee. Seriously, good luck in that one, guys. That's the end of this review. Subscribe for more content. This is great. PSP. Wasn't this supposed to be the console that revived the DS? I mean, it's not like I have any games for it. You know, this is oddly convenient. Whatever, let's review it. Be warned, if you see me in my room when I do a review, that means I'm freaking lazy and I won't go into the other room to do it. So yeah. Plus, it's a portable console, so I mean, I'm gonna stay in one room. Let's do it. Oh yeah, Medal of Honor Heroes 2. Let's do this. Every mission begins with a cinematic explaining basically what to do, although after the cinematic, they give you text explaining it anyway, so it's kinda pointless. Being a PSP games, the loading screens take a little while, but that's not that bad. I mean, they're not too long. They're only like maybe 30 seconds at most, maybe 40. You know, it's nothing to complain too much about. The game's controls is using the analog stick to move, using up on the control pad to do stuff, activate. Down is crouch, left is reload, right is switch weapon. And since there's no ever joystick, you gotta use the 4 buttons here to do that. L is aimed on sights and O is fire. So it's basically just one of your basic shooter games like Call of Duty. The combat is nothing special, it's just one of those cover-based shooter games that you've grown to expect nowadays in the first-person genre. The levels feel very linear, mostly being literally straight lines of shooting cover-based enemies. It gets pretty dull after the second level, I will say myself. The game contains primary objectives and secondary objectives. Most of them, though, I just go to point A to B. There are also bonus objectives, like pick up papers, blow up safes, etc., that type of mumbo-jumbo. As for weapons, it contains many different types of pistols, machine guns, snipers, rocket launchers, and any weapon you find in your standard shooter Call of Duty game-like deal. And I'm sorry to inform you that you can't quick scope. You won't fire. It does, however, have perfect no-scoping accuracy. Got him. As for difficulty, this game is a freaking cakewalk. As long as you don't get surrounded by enemies and you can actually aim, this game will be insanely easy. Because killed enemies will mostly drop these ammo crates, which will make it so it's very unlikely that you'll ever run out of ammo and you can just continue shooting onto the enemies with no remorse. Also, no scoping in this game is insanely accurate. So the only reason you'd ever need to aim on sights is if you're using a gun like the sniper or the M1 Garand, where they actually zoom in the sight. Most of the levels in this game, like most World War II shooters, are mostly devoid of color and life, leaving them to have a mostly gray palette. This is why World War II shooters aren't exactly my favorite genre to play, because you honestly have no honest colors in this game. That didn't even make any sense. The only level in this game that I honestly thought was allowed to have a lot of color was Village. This is honestly my favorite level into the entire game. I would explain to you the story, but you probably already know it. It's your standard, Germany did bad things, so you gotta go stop them. You know what, I honestly feel kind of bad for Germany, about how America's making like 1 billion games about it. Yeah, my thoughts in this game? I think it's another boring World War II shooter game that is so overdone already. Come on! What? You wanna know my thoughts on it? My review? You know what? I rate this a Call of Duty out of 10. You wanna know what that actually stands for? 5 out of 10. This game is so average. It's just so boring. You just go to cover and cover and cover and shoot enemies in a straight line for 6 or 7 levels. It's so boring. The only good thing about this game is that it's a first-person shooter on the PSP. I don't know. There's not too many of those, I guess. That's the end of this review. Bye. Hey.
Whoa.
It's been way too long since you made a video. Make another one. You know, isn't this breaking the fourth wall? Stop supporting Donald Trump.
What?
Just go make the video.
Fine.
I'm completely oblivious to my surroundings. Oh. The Nintendo Gamecube preview disc. Well, this looks interesting. You know, otherwise we wouldn't have a video here. I'm breaking the fourth wall again. I said stop supporting Donald. Shut up. The Nintendo Gamecube preview disc, if not obvious by the giant banner on it, is in fact a preview disc and not actual games. This is made more obvious by the giant thing in the center of the case that says 5 playable demos. These demos include Splinter Cell, Sonic Adventure DX, Beautiful Joe, Billy Hatcher, and the final one, Soul Calibur 2, the one with Link in it. It also contains some movies, but other games, and some downloadable Game Boy demos, but nobody really cares. But most importantly, rating information. The reason for this game's existence is to check out the hottest titles of exclusive features just for the Nintendo GameCube. Whoa, exciting! So the disc design is very basic. It's just a GameCube with a GameCube controller. Although it's not in the disc itself is not in the best condition. It does work fine. And according to the interwebs, I figured out this is actually the complete version of the game. All it came with was this blatant ad for Nintendo Power, which I'm going to go open over there. Get back to a bit later. And the precautions booklet, which was basically telling you not to play video games for 7 years. You know, everybody did it anyway. So let's read off this amazing thing in here. Taken to the brink of Link, tried everything but the kitchen sink. Well, don't think. Get to the pink with a subscription to Nintendo Power. A subscription to Nintendo Power. Funny, I'm the one complaining about Nintendo Power when I had this Pikmin 2 guide from them, but you know, whatever. Okay, it's been 3 minutes. I haven't talked about the game yet. Let's just get this over with. Cool. So here's the main menu. Pretty basic, right? You get a slider with all the things like the movies and the games and the GBAs. So this is actually the same exact menu that they would use for any demo disc, which I'm going to show on the bottom right left-hand corner of a different demo disc, just to compare. After you select the game, they give you a screen showing you the controls just in case you didn't know, which is a nice feature to have. First up is Sonic Adventure DX, the demo version. Yeah. Also, you're going to begin with Sonic, who after we select him, they give us a quick little screen showing the controls for each. If you played any Sonic game before, you know the gameplay. You gotta go fast as possible, yeah! Using spin dashes and stuff. The controls work fairly well, actually. Spin dash being a bit broken, but I like it that way. The controls are your usual joystick to move, A to jump, and then there's B to spin dash. That's really what you need to know for this demo, which gives you actually the first stage of the game, which is pretty well done. It really lets you feel like you're moving fast, with a great level design. As you can tell from the B-roll footage, it's more or less the Sonic Adventure DX game that we've known to love. Also, in the end, it says that's level C, when in the actual game it's level B, but that's just a minor thing. I could also sit here and tell you that some textures are very different and some of the gameplay elements, but I plan on doing a full in-depth review of this game at one point, so I won't go too deep into the game. On to the next character. Tails is revolves around trying to beat Sonic to the goal for some reason, I guess to prove that he's the fastest. But they chose the snowboarding level for Tails, which is honestly the best level, which is kind of disappointing. The controls are just move left or right and jump, but the entire time you're trying to play the game, Sonic is berating you the entire time. Just check it out. Anyways, next is the fact that when you hit a ramp, you can press A to do tricks. But most of the trick animations either go by in like half seconds, so you can't even see what's going on, or just so laughably ridiculous that you have to just sit back and laugh at it. And when your snowboard adventure comes to a closing, you'll find the magical Chaos Emerald. You win! Okay, it's time to go on to Knuckles. I think we talked about Tails for long enough. Next is Knuckles, whose goal is to find all 3 pieces of Master Emerald in this area, which happens to be Red Mountain. You collect these pieces by flying around and climbing on walls and digging until you can possibly find the pieces. It could be just out in the open, underground, inside an enemy, you don't really know. Just go. The only hint that you have to their whereabouts is a radar on the bottom of the screen, but it's kind of unreliable, but it also works. It's very odd. It's kind of like a 50-50 on it. Like the rest of the Sonic fan base, I'm not really that big of a fan of these levels, although they're not the worst thing in this game. They can still be fun, just a little bit frustrating at times, but if you get used to it, it's not really that bad. But the floating, there's just something about that makes it seem possible. I wonder. MOG Knuckles float test number 1. I regret nothing. Okay, on to the next character. Amy's gameplay is similar to Sonic's, where you run around and jump around and be all fast. Yeah, Amy moves really slow. Like, really slow. But, at her full running speed, if you hit B, you can use the hammer, which make her do a bunch of flips. Yeah. For some reason, the demo showed her final level, which was Final Egg. And there's also the section where you gotta pick up doors, which is really annoying if you want to speedrun it, which I don't. She's supposed to be constantly running away from Zero, but the thing is it's super easy because you can just smack him in the face with your hammer. Also, this current section I was in, you have to do the hammer jump, which is running and pressing the hammer button to get up, but that took me almost 5 minutes to do. And the goal is to reach these balloons that you see right there. Bam. Done. There, edited. Okay, who's next? Oh no. Oh no. Hey yo, won't you give me a chance? Not happening. What about me, yo? No. So that's it for the Sonic Adventure DX demo. There's nothing really else to talk about, except for the fact that I managed to spin outside of the map. So that's fun. That lasted long enough. Anyway, next is Billy Hatcher and the giant egg. This should be interesting. So already this game has a pretty interesting looking main menu. I mean, it's not just... What? Huh? What? Yep, I am not kidding to you. This game does not give you that long before it just sends you to the demo video. I mean, are you kidding me? The footage you're seeing behind you is the actual amount of time the game gives you before it just... There you go, demo video. Like, what the heck? Whatever, so let's start the game. So after a quick intro video, you're greeted to the first amount of gameplay. Which you'll realize, these controls are precise. This gives you a good feeling of being in total control. Like, wherever the heck you move that joystick, he's going. You mean like Sonic 06, except not terrible? You just got owned. So anyway, the Sky, and yes, the Sky, has informed us that the leader of this island has been turned into an egg and that it's our job to save him. Of course it is. Which brings us to the main gameplay of Billy Hatcher, rolling eggs. Yup, when you roll an egg, you can collect fruit to make the egg bigger. The controls are still pretty nice, and you can still jump while holding the egg, so it's very precise. You can collect fruit for the egg by killing enemies with your egg, by running them over brutally. And when it's big enough, you can hatch it, which will get you little partners that could help you, or you could just let them run around and do nothing. I mean nothing because even when I had him right next to enemies, he just pranced around like nothing was wrong. What the heck? By the way, the egg rolling was using zero gravity. Cool! So when you get a giant egg that you're gonna catch, if you just put it on the pedestal, BAM! Golden egg, yeah! Which the game immediately tells us is that outlet got transformed into an egg, so now we gotta hatch it. Great. Door opens! Isn't that exciting? Next up is an exciting session of running over more enemies and running over even more enemies. Great job. Cool, look, my egg is filled. You know what that means, right? Get hatched. And that coup brings right back to the land. Because video games. After that, the overlord gives us one of those generic thank you messages, and then he gives us a reward. What reward is it? A generic shiny collectible. Yay! My favorite. Oh come on, he didn't even open up his mouth. So after a quick come in this phone message, the game gives you that intro that I've played when you wait on the title screen again. Like we really need to see that. Next game is Beautiful Joe, which they nicknamed Pre-Beautiful Joe because puns. Nice tutorial. Skip! The general gameplay of this game consists of pressing X or Y to punch your enemies to death. You can use the buttons to repeatedly combo your enemies like most beat-em-up games. Before you can begin a battle, they give you a quick enemy count and say, just go for it! And when you destroy all the enemies brutally, they give you a little ranking based on your combo, defense, and time. So after walking a bit more forward, you meet this blue guy, which of course you need to fight because video games. After you're done beating him up though, you get to turn into Beautiful Joe. Yeah. This gives you the ability to defeat enemies in slow motion in a very epic fashion. But more importantly, it allows you to do the double jump. That gives me an idea. Hey, it's Ninja Star Compass, and clearly I have no idea what Link looks like. This isn't even close. Whatever, this is all I had on short notice. So anyway, this is going to be a review of the new amazing game for the Switch and the Wii U, Breath of the Wild. Now let's get to the opening. When you start playing Breath of the Wild, the first thing you notice about it is how different it is from other Zelda games. Mechanics like the jump button and other stuff make this game feel really fun. The shrines and other side quests add a lot of replayability to an already amazing gaming experience. One thing I particularly liked about this game is actually the difficulty. Although it's much harder than other Zelda games, I will say it's actually a pretty level affair that would not make you want to hate the game at all. Hey, you want to see a magic trick? Whoa! It's a piece of garbage! Today's review is on the Batman LCD game from Tiger Electronics. First thing you notice about it is that it glares like crazy, making it super hard to record. Here's the cover art of this thing. I mean, you could call it that, but it's just a generic Batman one, nothing really special at all. The buttons, although a bit squishy, are fine, I guess, for the 1995, but they definitely could be better. The middle buttons are just fine, though. They're perfect. Overall, buttons are fine. Nothing bad about them. So See that thing that looks like a speaker? Guess what? The speaker's on the back. It's just for decoration, which is just wonderful. Something about this one that makes it unique from most Target handhelds. Guess what it is? Most of them had white plastic. Well, this one has black plastic. You may be asking, what type of power source would something like this even take? Well, taking off the top of this thing, we can actually find out that it's 2 AA batteries, which they generously do not provide you. Great. So you grab 2 batteries, try to put them in, realize how hard it is. So here's an easier way to do it. Just take the first battery, put it on the front part, then take the second battery, put it on the part with the spring, and then push it back and then insert it that way. Trust me, it's just easier that way. Then you put in your batteries and you hear this sound so you know that's actually on. The moment you put in the batteries, it shows all the little pictures that are used inside this type of LCD game. The footage you're watching is actually slowed down because it only lasts 0.7 seconds because I guess they didn't want you to see it. But enough talk about how the game looks. Let's talk about how it plays. You immediately get a very annoying cutscene of Robin telling Batman to go stop some bad guys. If you don't already notice by the footage, Batman moves out automatically like some stupid game I'd see some kid playing on his iPhone. You press forward to punch enemies that are directly in front of you, and you hit back to kick enemies in a ridiculous fashion that I find quite funny.
And I said, you think I'm stupid? I'm not the one who's gonna buy an Xbox One X. Wait 1 second, I have to call you back. Another one of these? I'm not reviewing this.
I guess I have to now, don't I?
Okay, let's...
We might as well get this out of the way. I mean, can't be that bad, right? As far as background information goes, this game was made in 2004. It's not one of those Jack-specific units. This one was marketed as a plug-and-play kids rather than a regular plug-and-play. But how do I learn all the information about this game? It says on the back of the controller. As far as the controller goes, they got creative this time and decided to make it look like SpongeBob's house. I think the SpongeBob image might be some sort of stock image because it's on my VHS tape and a lot of other merchandise that I've seen. I really like how the button is actually the window because it helps the button still be there without distracting from the design of the controller. However, I don't like the joystick. It feels so flimsy and unresponsive, but I mean I did buy this used, so I'm not entirely surprised. So we start the game and we get the name revealed, SpongeBob Dilly Dabbler, along with that same stock image of SpongeBob. I swear, it must have been like the only image of SpongeBob the developers had on their desktop. Afterwards, we land on the menu. Get it? Land? Because they're underwater? Ha! Here's a list of games to select, but something that really bothers me is the lack of music. It makes this menu seem way more boring than it really needs to. But anyway, let's start with the first game on this list, Mr. Spongehead. I thought his name was Cheesehead, but whatever. I just got jump scared by the only sound effect in the menu. Oh, okay, I see what we've got here. It's a SpongeBob dress-up tool. You know those ones that you can play for free on crappy flash game sites? Seriously, all you do is change SpongeBob's eyes, nose, outfit, add on objects, and set poses. This is barely a video game. Okay, imagine you're a kid in 2004 sitting in a playground talking about the games you just got with your friends. First friend talks about getting Super Mario 64 DS. Another talks about getting Halo 2. And then you walk up with this plug-and-play with freaking Mr. Spongehead on it. You would leave that playground with no friends. Back on the subject, I really wish there was more to talk about, but what it comes down to is being the most basic mix and match game ever made. I've seen more interesting games being played on a piece of paper. Hey look, I've made a disturbing SpongeBob picture. Moving on. Next game up is Seaside Sliders. At least this actually looks like a game. Are you actually kidding me? It's literally just a slide puzzle. Usually play these games for free on computers when you're supposed to be doing work and you're feeling lazy. There is no excuse for this being here. I wish it's more of a game than the last option. Sure, there are different settings, images, and hint options, but that's not really helping the game's case at all. I suppose I'll explain how it works for your informed. There's a simple 3x3 puzzle with one piece missing, usually with a picture on it. Then it's scrambled up and it's your goal to get the picture back to normal. It can take a while to solve these, not because they're difficult, but because you lose interest after playing these for 30 seconds. Whatever, I guess I'll just attempt to solve it.
There, I solved it. Let's move on. Okay, what's next on this list? Gary's Goose Art.
That's the name you went with?
I can make an hour-long rant about why his name is awful, but no one will watch that, so let's continue. Yes, this is literally just a Gary the Snail version of an Etch-a-Sketch. The difference is the sketch pad is green. It's hard to see where your line is going because Gary keeps covering it. Move over, Gary, I'm making a masterpiece. Don't even get me started on the terrible controls. Moving the joystick up, down, left, and right is fine, but moving in the diagonal area is super unresponsive, and even when you're holding the joystick right on it, it'll still move right before moving down right. None of this is helped by the most irritating drawing noise in video game history. Something this does have over Etch-a-Sketch is that you can lift Gary off the drawing and place him wherever you want. Well, since I'm done drawing, I might as well erase my work.
What does that even say?
Yeah, I can't quite figure this one out. I've never heard in any of the episodes. It barely fits with Spongebob. It sounds like a poodle trying to bark from inside of a pool. Okay, this next one seems to be called Color Me Sponge Eye. I guess it's supposed to be spongy, but that totally looks like an eye. As for actual content, imagine Mario Paint, but the controller of a crappy imprecise joystick is only the paint bucket tool, and there's only pre-drawn images to color in. The closest thing I can really compare it to is that one dinosaur coloring game, but that's not exactly a compliment. The only other option that this thing has is it can change what image it's painting, but that doesn't really help its case. I couldn't even call this a drawing tool, it's more like a paint bucket simulator. You could call it a coloring book, but one, that's just a lazy excuse for not bothering to add a proper drawing tool, and two, you could add some sort of brush tool or something to make this more interesting. I don't really have anything else to talk about, so here's a sponge art image I colored in. The next game is called Krabby Fry Fest. Oh, so it's Simon Says. I'd be mad, but I mean this is an actual game. The goal is to see the ingredients that light up, and then you click on them in the right order to make a perfect Krabby Patty. If you get it right, the game rewards you with a nice noise. I have to admit, it does make you feel very accomplished. If you get the order wrong, then Sponge will look at the sandwich with pure fear.
My sandwich tastes like a fried boot. My sandwich is a fried boot!
If you can create 4 Krabby Patties, then you'll be honored Employee of the Month. So this one technically has an ending. In fact, I even found a speedrun of this game. I guess they thought no one else would run it, why not? Also, this game looks nice. It takes Simon Says and gives it a nice SpongeBob twist. It fits in perfectly. Overall, this game is alright. I'm fine with this one. They at least tried harder than they did with the slide puzzle. The next game on the list is Metal Shaving Makeover, which its picture is very weird. SpongeBob with a mustache. It looks like an old cartoon villain. Well, that was pointless. Time to go play the game. Oh, okay. Yup. I see. It's that thing. It's not entirely surprising because most of the games are just really basic games but spongified and put into a plug and play. The real complex gameplay of this one consists on selecting a picture, grab some metal, and playing with it. I suppose you could have mustache and sandy, hair on Squidward, or... In the arms of the angel, fly away. I noticed something while playing this. It's really boring. Moving around eyeing with a magnet sounds like it might have some entertainment value, but whenever you press the button, they just stick like glue, making it much harder to form images. This one was probably just thrown in at the last second to make it more appealing to buy this, but it lacks depth and it's boring, so next. Finally, the last one. It's apparently called Mix and Match Patrick, and considering Mr. Spongehead's gameplay, my hopes are really down. Yep, this is basically what I expected out of this. Okay, so take Mr. Spongehead, but only limited to 3 selectable options: add Patrick, poses from the TV show, an objective to match up the 3 portions of a pose, and some bubbles, and you have Mix and Match Patrick. But the problem is, it's basically a clone of the first one. It's kind of sad to see them repeat games despite the fact that there's only 7 slots. It's like they ran out of cheap games to rip off.
Hey Paul, do we have that last game ready? No boss, we ran out of games to rip off. How do we run out of games? Okay, whatever, just take that sponge head game or whatever and change it slightly. They won't notice. Okay Paul, let's hope it works. Hurry up, we don't have much time.
This game is definitely just the people running out of ideas. The game doesn't even give a reward for playing it, it just resets and you move on. It's fairly disappointing. Look, it is my monstrous creation. How dare you refuse my art? That's incredibly rude. Okay, I'm done talking about this one. So I've gone over all 7 games. It's time to explain if the game is good or not. First of all, out of all the 7 games, I found only 2 games I consider good enough to even be called games. The other 5 are mostly rushed to make a deadline. Considering that the famous one is drawing, but there's only really 3 games that can be technically called drawing games, that's not exactly that amazing of showing off the concept of the machine. There also has almost no replay value, especially because there's almost no regular value to be found. These games would have been better off as Nick Flash games, because then they would have been free, but nope, just throw them into a piece of plastic and sell them. I suppose this isn't in my age group with the title Plug and Play Kids, but that shouldn't really be an excuse for games being awful. That's like Heavy Iron, instead of making Valve Bikini Bottom, they decided, nah, it's a kid's game, let's just make SpongeBob Grinding Simulator. That wouldn't make any sense. Even the Leaps there made a more entertaining SpongeBob game on the system, and that was meant for preschoolers. Now that I think about it, I'd much rather review that game. Oh well, that's for another day. You might be saying, okay Ninja Star, you've been hanging on this game a lot, but there must be some positive aspects, right? You'll be right. Like how the shell of the controller looks nice, and it's nicely molded. Also, the SpongeBob twists of some classic games are nice as well, making you feel like they genuinely tried in that aspect. But the problem is, the games themselves don't justify the cost of the whole package. Okay, let's see how much this thing cost. $21. Even on Amazon it's $20. I think my point still stands. By the way, if you're wondering how I got mine, I got it for $5 at a flea market my family drove for 3 hours to get to. And I not expect it to be worth this much, even on Amazon. Anyway, for as if it's worth it or not, maybe just have a kid that's really into SpongeBob and you find it real cheap, then sure, I guess I'd recommend it for that narrow demographic. I guess I have to give it some pointless number review, so I'll say 4 out of 10. Although I did rip on this game a lot for not being very fun, it's kind of a light and short burst. Also, the SpongeBob twist and everything is charming. This one, but let's reserve this one for hardcore fans of children. This is Ninja Star Compass, signing out, and if you excuse me, I have some very important errands to run. Hey guys, I just finished editing the video, and sorry it just took so long. I was kind of on hiatus for a little bit because I didn't have any like tools to edit videos with, but now I'm finally done. It's kind of funny because all the stuff I used to make this video are actually completely outdated now. I got a new camera, I got a new editor, I got a new microphone, and yeah. This video was interesting to make. It took over a year, which I'm not really that proud of, but I promise the next one won't take this long. I finished the script already, so it should be out. Like, I don't know. It definitely won't take a year. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I don't know. I'm moving soon. I'll probably film it after I move. That'll be more convenient. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see ya.